Hello everyone, my name is Sonia and welcome to my case study presentation for Career Counseling Technique 8190. Let's move towards the agenda of this presentation. First of all, I will introduce you with my client. After that, I will discuss the key areas we discussed during our collaboration. After that, I will also discuss some notable statements of my client, and then we will also talk about client's barriers along with solutions. Then I will also talk about as we move forward, we will also talk about future options for my client. Last but not the least, I will also talk about the assessment of counseling process quality. Before to wrap up the presentation, I will also discuss some quality barrier counseling barriers and the ways to overcome in future with you. So the name of my client is Mukul. I have changed his name because of confidentiality. He's 28 years old. He's from India and recently moved in Canada just 4 months ago. He belonged to IT field and have 2 years experience back in India as a software tester. Addressed areas during the session. So it was intriguing to begin the session. So firstly, I discussed few things about my confidentiality and about my competence as a counselor with my client to feel comfortable and to build trust between us. Then I asked him a question like, what would he like to discuss with me? So this was the very first question which helped me a lot to lead our conversation further. As he started to discuss about his job search problems and what his career goal in Canada. He also discussed things that were important for his dream job. By asking questions, open-ended questions, I come to know about his values, his interest, his preferred activities in past and in present and in future. So all my questions and about his discussion of previous job helped me a lot to know some insights of my client. The main key area of this conversation was exploration and brainstorming of my client to so that I could help him with decision making regarding his career goal. So these are few significant statements of my client which I would like to share with you. And the first one is, I know it's really different to start from zero, but my hard work will definitely help me to get a secure job in Canada. So this statement really stuck in my mind, and through this statement, I come to know about his career plan in Canada. If you believe in yourself, then no one can stop you to achieve your goal. So this is something which helped me to understand about his self confidence, about his goal. um, I always put my family as a priority, and that's why I made the decision to move here in Canada to support my wife. So, through this statement, I come to know about like why he moved here and what is the reason behind it. And his family always comes for every like on everything. So he really gives a lot of value to his family and relations. Here I also asked some open-ended question like why he moved here. So he described the whole situation about his wife and about himself. I realized to compete in my IT industry, I have to keep myself updated with the latest technology and automation tools. So this statement really helped me a lot to understand what activities he will prefer in future and what kind of skills and knowledge he has and what he expect in industry and for his growth. I realized at one moment in my life when people stopped to talk to me as I was in financial constraint, and then I understood the power of money for happiness. So this statement really helped me a lot to understand the value of money, why he want to become wealthy, because he has experienced some trouble in his previous life. So at that moment, I also showed sympathy towards him, um, and also correlated his feelings with myself as well. I felt my last organization because I didn't get an appreciation for my hard work and loyalty. As for me, it works like a motivation. So they really helped me a lot to understand his values and his beliefs related with hard work and loyalty, and why he left his previous job back in India. So it these all helped me to ask some open-ended questions with my client. So here are some barriers which my client identified for himself. The first one is lack of connections, as he recently moved here, so he don't have much connections in Canada. Family responsibilities and lack of funds, as he moved here because of his wife, because his wife is on study permit, so he have some responsibilities, and he don't have funds to support her financially. No Canadian experience, as he just recently moved here, so he don't have Canadian experience. Time management to learn new automation tools, as he told me during a conversation, like for his career growth he want to learn new automation tools in IT field, but due to time management problem he's not able to cope up with that. Geographical location, as currently he is residing in Kitchener, so we all know that there are not uh, many companies related with the IT field. So that is also a problem in his career goal. Communication in English, although he's very good, as I found during our conversation, but as when he talked about native speakers, communicating with native speakers, then he disclosed me like this is something where he is lacking. So the solutions which we came up with, that is information interviews and LinkedIn. Like through LinkedIn he can connect with a number of professionals and can conduct information interviews, which will definitely help him to boost his confidence. uh, he can also, like, financially to support his family and wife, he can also continue with his part-time job. As he don't have Canadian experience, so we realize like with volunteer work with any non-profit organization he could get some experience and can add in his resume as well. With the time management problem, he can make a schedule for himself and prioritizing the task according to that. uh, Search for more job opportunities out of his comfort zone, that is also could be a perfect solution for his geographical location problem. Like he could find jobs out of his comfort zone, out of Kitchener. Like as we know, Toronto and the other province, there are a number of cities who are hub of IT sector. So for the communication problem, he could speak more in English, and that could, I think, work for him as well, as he realized. So these are some future options for my client, which he may consider as because of various reasons, like build networking through LinkedIn. As right now he don't have full time job, so he could work on that. Information interviews, he can also conduct information interviews, and through which he can come to know about the various automation tools which are using these days in IT industries. He can also attend job search workshops where he could get idea about how to apply job and how to connect with employers and professionals. Enrolling in English language programs, there are a number of English language programs which help people to communicate in English and improve communication skills. For example, Access, they have a language program, so we recommend him to enroll in that programs. LinkedIn learning program, so this is something we come up like. Meanwhile, as he don't have job, so right now he can work on that and can learn about the automation tools through LinkedIn learning. So assessment of counseling process. So I followed a proper structure for this session. So my approach was during this session was client centered and motivational throughout the session for my client. So first of all, I discussed some things with my client about my confidentiality and about my competence as a counselor during the session, and try to build relation with my client so that he can trust on me and can share his thoughts and insights without any hesitation. Uh, so I also ensured him that I am here to help him, which really helped me to rapid relation between us, and he could able to discuss his thoughts with me openly. So during his previous job discussion and about his interest, there are some moments when I asked open-ended questions and did paraphrasing and summarizing for my clarity, and which really helped me a lot to understand his point of view. Uh, when he was discussing about his previous job loss, at that moment I also showed sympathy, which is required in counseling process, I think. So if I talk about the success, then the positive feedback of my client which I got in the end of the session, that is something which helped me a lot to understand that my session was successful. uh, Throughout the session I also use some self portrait template and values and skills card, so that I can give the right word to the values, skills and interest of my client. Counseling barriers. So during this session I also face some like I realized some barriers. Lack of knowledge about IT field. This is something I realized, like I don't have much knowledge about IT field. So to improve this, to overcome this problem, I found this solution, like uh, research and collect useful sources about the industry, could work on that. Maintain confidence throughout the process. So this is something which I also found difficult throughout the to maintain a same level of my confidence. So I think more information interviews and observing more counselor, I can overcome this problem as well. Collect information from a introvert person. So my client was a little bit introvert, so my open-ended question really helped me to get some insights from him side. So I think in future I will definitely continue with that. Keep the client on the track and control to give an advice. So these are the two things which I found very difficult during the session, because there are some moment when my client went out of the track and started to discuss some other things. So I asked some questions so that he just come up on the track. And I think the practice is something which could help me to make expertise of this field in future. So conclusion, in that I can say, I can wind up this session like I am happy that I was successful to help my client to identify and organize valuable insights about themselves through life role analysis format. I hope this session was worthy for my client as well for me. So these are some resources which I used during my presentation. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please feel free to contact for any questions or clarifications. Thank you.